Second card of the season just dropped and I am in love. This card is so much fun. I actually did not expect it. I had rated it pretty low originally, but after playing it, I'm bumping that rating up and up every new deck I make. This deck is actually my highest win rate deck by a landslide. It's got a 65% win rate over 40 plus games already, and it's doing really, really well. And it's Blob actually is the all-star of this deck. Actually insane. Blob, if you don't know, just came out. It is a 6/4. Merge your deck into this on reveal and gain its total power. Ongoing can't be moved. That means that anything that's left in your deck when you play this, just all the power from all of those cards. Now you can't have ongoing cards or other cards that would gain power on the board merge into it. Well, they can, but they just won't add any extra power that from the ongoing effect. So you want big static cards that are going to give you that extra power. So if we take a look at this deck, you can see we have a couple of choice cards based on their power. So a card you don't see that often, Crossbones, Gladiator, and Maximus, the biggest 3 drops. Crossbones just a really solid 4 drop that has the power already on it, which there are like other cards that can get up to like 8 or 9 power, but they don't have it starting out. So when it's in your deck at the end of the game, Blob just eats it up and it gets really big. And then again, Devil Dino, you're not going to add that extra power, but it is just a really solid card. This is by far my favorite deck. Thanos, for Thanos right now. Thanos is the main, I guess, card of this deck. It is a Thanos deck first and foremost. You're running the Thanos, you get like the Time Stone, you get Psylocke, so you can play out one of your 5 drops. You're playing a lot of 5 drops. You're playing 3 6 drops. Magneto is just a big card, and it really works in this meta where a lot of people are playing like 4s and 5s. Blob has an extra really cool effect. Dark Hawk has been dominating the meta, and that means no more if Blob is good. So I am predicting this deck will rise and be one of the top played decks coming up. You guys can hop on the trend here first. You can see I also added in the tech card Shang-Chi just because there are a lot of other people playing big cards out, especially with Blob. It's very popular right now for people to play it. So gameplay patterns real quick. The main thing you want to do is lock down one lane with either Professor X or Doc Ock. So you want to just build up one big lane and then lock it down. So you can just build up. That's really what you need to do. So it's like you can stack all of your units early game into one place, play Professor X or play Doc Ock on it to finish that lane out for the other person so that they can't play any more onto it. And then you just solo a lane with Blob. Blob will end up being like 30-40 power by itself. So you can just literally play it into any other lane. There are the occasional games where you're going to have to play a little bit different in case you're playing in like against another lockdown player or someone who runs Goliath or something, because then you want to make sure that you're able to play your Blob out into those lanes. So let's check out some gameplay and get into it. So game 1 of Blob. So Quantum Tunnel is actually bait for Blob. If you end up pulling Blob too early with the Quantum Tunnel, you ruin your entire deck. So you need to make sure you have enough cards in hand if you want to do that. That's why I do not recommend a Lockjaw deck with Blob. Too many people I played against day 1 of Blob were running Lockjaw decks and they were just destroying their entire deck. Alright, this person running Maria Hill and Devil Dino looks like a Loki Devil Dino deck. So I'm going to go ahead and play out. So I want to play out Time Stone or Psylocke on turn 3 so we can play one of our 5 drops on turn 4. That way we get like an early Professor X or an early Dino or something like that, so we can play Professor X on turn 5 or Doc Ock on turn 5. So we want to be able to do that. It just is able to make our curve a lot better with this deck. And I'm putting all of these cards into the Miniaturized Lab to try and free up some space for myself. This is actually super good. We get double draw on Camartage. Again, I'm not going to throw anything into the Quantum Tunnel quite yet because I still want to make sure that I can draw. Also, the Quantum Tunnel might pull out like something like Professor X and then just lock in the Devil Dino lane for my opponent, and we don't want that. So 2 draws, 2 extra energy, means we can play a 6 drop as well. We do have Shang-Chi in hand as well to be able to deal with this dino later on if we want to. So generally, you don't really want to draw too much with this deck because you want your blob to be big. Our blob is getting smaller and smaller by the second because we've drawn a lot of our big cards. But we did get our blob. So now we have a few options here. With blob in hand, I think we can go ahead and throw out the Shang, throw out the Psylocke. We could even double Psylocke if we want. I don't think we really need to because I don't think there's going to be anything really that we want to play. But I'm going to be fishing for the Professor X over here just so we can lock down a lane so my blob can solo the other lane. So if we get Doc Ock, it's also not the worst, but probably not the best. There's Doc Ock, as I predicted. Yeah, it's going to be really bad if we Doc Ock into big stuff. Alright, well, at least their Moon Girl didn't get much value. Okay. And they low-keyed almost nothing. But they did kill our stuff. Not ideal, but remember, we do have Blob to be able to solo this lane. That's the whole point of Blob. So, in our deck, we have 16 power, so this is going to be a 20 power Blob. So right now, I could probably snap. I mean, they're snapping for us. Like, we could also just play the Dino. The Dino is going to be worth 13, so it's not quite enough. So we probably just do this, and then we can Dino mid on the final turn for a victory. Because we don't need any of those cards. So here comes our Blob. It's going to be 20 power. Wait, I did my math wrong. It's 26 power, which is fine. I don't know how I messed up my math there. Must have missed a card. Or maybe our deck tracker wasn't showing exactly because some cards got put back. And then we are going to play our game plan. Wait a second. We didn't draw a card for Double Dino, so now it's only 11 power. And they're out of here. They can't handle the Blob. It's actually too good. And if you're looking for another fun deck with Blob, I have this Tribunal deck that I was playing on stream. It's a lot of fun. It's not as good as this Thanos one, but it is fun and really powerful when it pops off. But I would say not quite as consistent. Check it out. We just got Blob in hand. That's really good at the beginning of my YouTube video. Blob is actually broken. Can't be moved. Merge your entire deck into this. We just won 2 games in a row. Literally with Tribunal. All you do is wave out Blob and then play Tribunal. Although, Subterranea, not the best. We do need to draw Wave or Electro for this to be good. Or Magic. Magic kind of works with Subterranea because we can keep our deck. We can keep our big cards in our deck, hopefully. Because all we need to do is play Tribunal and Blob. That's our game plan. My favorite part about the last game was when Dara blobbed all over the opponent. Just wait till this game. Double the Blob. Alright, what are they waiting for here? This is not what we're about here. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted. Now they have to skip. What?
Wind, aid my hand.
Okay, hear me out. I leave the flooding location because I have Tribunal anyway. And we just kill the collapsed mine. Ain't no way. Alright, I should not have snapped because this is for YouTube and they might retreat. Easiest win of my life. Damn. All right, hear me out. We don't play out any rocks because we don't want to draw. We want to just blob and win. Blob! How are they going to fart on me? How can they fart this? Look at the size of this thing! Look at this. This is hilarious. That's a big boy. What a massive man. What could they even do? Hi, YouTube. Thank you, Butt Poop, for the... Thank you for the sub. Wow. Victory. They retreat? They don't even let us play the tribunal? At least we gotta play the blob. Got him.